Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. As part of the design team over at the Counterfeit Kit challenge, I am here with the Forgery on the Fourth project. And that is where we are inspired by a real-world product to create our own version. And today I am being inspired by these decorative buttons. So let's go ahead and dive in. I have got some blank wood buttons here that I ordered off of Amazon, and these were listed as being about 5/8 of an inch or 18 millimeters. As I'm measuring them on my mat, they seem slightly larger than that, and I would have liked to have a smaller size. However, there are some challenges to them getting any smaller than this, so we'll talk about that more a little bit later. But before we get into that, I want to thank Melissa M. for this idea because she had commented on a previous video that I had done on some embellishments, and I've also done faux buttons before, but not using actual buttons. So I will link you up to those videos in case you want to catch those. So we are going to decorate these buttons up in a few different ways. I'm going to start with some scratch paper here, and I've got various pieces of paper both from my scratch supply and also from my kit build. Now these buttons are a part of my counterfeit kit for this month, and if you haven't caught that video, I will link you up to that as well. And the challenge to this project is finding images that are the right size to fit on these buttons. And that is what I'm saying about if the buttons were any smaller, that challenge would become just even larger. Now, I'm also going to decorate up these buttons with some other things like sequins, and I'll show you several ideas of imagery that you can use on these buttons. And if you have any ideas for ways to do this, I would love to hear them because I was racking my brain trying to come up with more ideas. I started off here with this smaller print of pattern paper that had these butterflies on it, and even this scale of print was a little bit too large. I do have a 1/2 inch circle punch here. So it sounds like it would be enough room to punch out, but when you start looking at these images, it really gets tight. So here is a great way to find small images. If you buy a collection paper pad like this Pink Fresh Studio here, which I just grabbed a screenshot from their website, I cut apart and save this front cover sheet of paper pads to use for this kind of project. And in my little scrap bin here, you can see I've got those squares saved and cut apart for doing projects just like this. On this little one, I am going to cut out a couple of teacups from this small image, and they were just the perfect size for doing this. And moving on to another piece, I've got some flowers to cut out from a different section. As I was playing with my pattern papers, I realized the branding strips are often just the right size to fit a 1/2 inch circle punch on, which made me remember that I save my branding strips for awesome projects like this. And in fact, I have a whole video of projects that I do with branding strips, so I will link you up to that as well. In fact, you can see a little bit of weaving I've done in that bag, and I pulled out a piece of that because I wanted these little butterflies to cut up. And I'm going to just kind of search through this bag to find images that I like. Now the branding strip here was slightly too narrow to fit that circle punch on, and that can happen. But just save these and pick and choose through them to find images that you like for this kind of project. And in fact, I end up finding just the perfect strip of pattern paper to go with the kit that I built this month. And this one has tiny kind of autumn leaves on it in various colors. So they're not just the deep orange kind of leaves. They have blues and pinks as well. Another place to find shrunk down patterns is on paper pads. Now this one is exceptionally small. It is a 2x2 pad that Paige Evans puts out, and I'll put links to these below. But you could also try 6x6 paper pads because those are often scaled down from larger 12x12s. And that little pad is in my kit this month as well. A third, fourth, I don't even know how many ideas we've gotten to at this point, is to use stickers. So if you have, especially sticker books, often have smaller images in them. And this is a Maggie Holmes older sticker book. I found some hearts in here. And because these stickers in particular are both shape stickers and clear stickers, I am going to punch out pattern paper cardstock to back them first before I apply them. And this particular sticker was still a little bit too big, but I was able to cut it into pieces and get 2 decorative sections out of it instead of just one. So, and you can back these with any color of cardstock that you like to do those images. And how about washi tape? Washi tape is often scaled down lovely images, so I have just a few options here, and again, these need to go on a piece of paper. In this case, I'm just using some regular printer paper, but you could certainly do it with cardstock as well. And I chose a selection of different images here just to show you some examples. I don't think these will necessarily get applied to my kit this month, especially this cute little dinosaur washi tape. When my kids were into dinosaurs, this was a fun washi tape to have, and it might make a great decorative button for, say, a birthday card if you know someone who's a dinosaur fan. So you can get some fun use out of those. But I was particularly drawn to these rainbows, and so I've got some of those going on. And then how about stamps? Lawn Fawn is particularly good at creating stamps with small images, and you could get one of their stamp sets that has lots of little faces and make some emoji type embellishments. But other stamps might have small arrows, hearts, flowers, and even some greeting stamps would have some fun words that you could put onto these buttons. So give those a try. Now, that was as many ideas as I could come up with. And again, if you have ideas, let me know because I'd love to know more. And for putting these together, it's pretty straightforward at this point. I'm just going to apply some liquid glue to my button. I'm going to tap the little piece of paper into place onto that glue. And here's what they look like. I actually just like them as is this way, but I will take a select few of these and go ahead and put a glossy topping on them because that more mimics the original product. I just use a clear Nouveau drop for this, but you could use any glossy product that you have at home. I am sure to kind of tuck the tip of that bottle into the rim of the button because I found that some kind of interaction between the glue and the rim, it was kind of peeling back away from the button, so I had to make sure that it snugged down into that button. And now let's play with something a little more creative. We are going to use these sequins, and in this particular pack, I have some sequins that are deeply cup-shaped, and they're shaped like flowers. And I'm going to apply a layer of this glossy product down to act more as glue than anything else. You can do regular glue with this, but I think if any of this oozes in between the sequins, it's shiny and it won't dull the finish of the sequins like a regular glue might. And I'm just going to pop these little sequins into this glossy product to hold it down and create some sparkly buttons. Now you could also do this with like a glitter glue or something and not sequins to get some sparkle, but I thought this was kind of a different fun take on the whole decorative button. And in fact, here I am layering up various sequins. I've got a flat sequin, then I'm topping it with a flower sequin, and after that I'm going to surround it with some small round sequins, and I'm creating my own pattern that way. And really, that is basically all the ideas that I have for you this time around. But before you go, let me show you some close-ups and share some final thoughts. Here is a look at the pre-made button on the left and my homemade button on the right. Now you can see they're not perfect, but they are way cheaper. And so I am going to be making a whole lot more of these buttons. And again, I want to thank Melissa for this fabulous idea. I wish I had thought of it, but I'm super glad she shared that idea with me, and then I can share that idea on with the rest of you. So if you have ideas, do let me know because I would love to feature one of your ideas in a future video. All right, coming up next on the channel, I will have another embellishment style video where we're going to make some interactive elements to include in this month's kit. So I hope you will join me on the 6th for that video. Until then, have an artful day.